Hello everybody, this is Democre, and welcome to episode 3 of my Let's Mod series. It has been a while since I've recorded, mostly due to an illness, but then as soon as I felt better enough to record, 1.6 was around the corner, so I decided to wait. Mostly because I did not want to get into modding and then have to redo the environment and potentially have some mod errors or whatever. So this episode will focus on updating to 1.6.1 of Minecraft with the freshly new MCP and Forge. You have to give a shout out and lots of applause to the MCP team, the Forge team, and the FML team for their hard work to get this on the day of release of Minecraft 1.6.1. Now, this is a fairly different setup, so most of the setup from before will not apply. I have the project set up as it was before, so we'll start with there. If you followed the first um, video, this will be mostly where it's at. I had updated Forge to the latest 1.5.2 before um, recording to this. I added a plugin for quick notes, which helps me keep my notes inside of Idea as well as the code snippets that I use to replace in Jar Discoverer, etc. It's nicer. I also added the Git plugin and the GitHub plugin, so it is my hope that Let's Mod will be source controlled. I may do a separate video on that if there's enough requests. It's pretty straightforward. Just set up a GitHub account and install the plugins. So let's get to it. We are updating to 1.6.1. The first thing you need to do, I don't know if it's necessary, but I was following the MCP instructions, and you need to download the Minecraft launcher and launch 1.6.1 at least once. I've done that, so I don't know if it's necessary for this or not. The next thing you need to do is download the latest Forge, which is 890.751 at this point, and you download that from the Minecraft Forge downloads, which is at files minecraftforge.net. You want to make sure that you're grabbing the source link as before, and you go ahead and download that. I've already downloaded it, so next thing we will do is unzip Forge. Let's go over to downloads, this Forge right here. We will be setting this up slightly differently. Before we had extracted MCP and then put Forge inside of it to and that's how we proceeded before. This new version of Forge does not like to be inside MCP. I had downloaded 802 and tried putting Forge inside of it, and the scripts didn't tolerate it. It said, please download a clean MCP, so I will go with it this way, the way that it wants to do. So we will extract Minecraft Forge into this one. We can read the README real quick. It says the install script should take care of everything for you. You do not need to have MCP installed before running install. And actually, you should not have MCP installed beforehand because, as I found out, it messes it up. So ignore the download of MCP. So once we have Forge downloaded, we will delete the existing MCP from our project. I'm going to copy forward this new Forge folder. I will delete MCP. Try to delete MCP. There we go. And I will paste Forge into here. Now at this point, idea will be slightly messed up because MCP went away and all this stuff. So we need to redo our project structure, and that's a lot of red. Let's go ahead and remove this content entry. Yes, remove it. Let's add the new Forge directory as our content root. I like to exclude, actually, let's just exclude FML. Let's exclude client. Let's exclude common. What this does is just down the road will keep the source for those folders from showing up in any class search, because we are interested in the decompiled and deobfuscated um, source files down the road. So we don't need those directories. We could probably exclude patches too if we wanted to. All this does, it doesn't delete them from disk, it just excludes them from your project management and searching in those. We'll hit OK. And Forge shows up again. Now we have our install that we can run. We will run install. And this does take quite a bit, so I will come back when this is done. It has to download all the resources, it downloads MCP, it downloads pretty much everything, every sound file. It's just a bunch. And then it goes through the decompiling, it goes through the deobfuscation, patching, and all that jazz. So it does take quite a bit. If you'll note right now, it's 10:47 my time. We'll see what time I come back at. And I am back. As you can tell, it took almost 10 minutes for that to go. Ooh, what a process. Anyway, so let's bring up my notes here, what we were going to do. Okay, so I've just run the Forge install script, and now we will go fix everything that is wrong. So we'll go to project structure. We see this error down here with the library class roots. Let's go to that error. Of course, these are bad, so that's from the old MCP directory. Let's go ahead and add new directories. We need to add um, go to Forge MCP. We want to be inside MCP. Let's drop the lib in there. Okay, that is not working. Hold on a second while I figure this out. All right, back. What I did was I just canceled out of there. Let's go back to that point where we had these red ones. Instead of removing those, I'll just go ahead and attach files or directories. For some reason, it wasn't finding this root, so we'll just browse under Forge MCP, and we'll add the lib directory as before. Put it under classes, and we'll add the jars bin. So attach files or directories. Jars. There is no bin this time, so we will go library, I believe. It's under This will be a learning experience. Let's add libraries for to see what happens. We will go ahead and move that one, and OK. Now let's fix our let's fix our source root too. For our MCP module, we should now have a valid source root. So let's add source Minecraft to our sources. That's done. Hit OK. Let's edit our configurations. Under our applications, we set up the vanilla MCP last time. Let's start in forge /mcp or /jars. Hit OK. And let's do that for the let's mod. Well, let's just pop in forge there because inverted directory structure. Let's double check this that /bin natives still uh, is there. So let's hit apply. And I bet you it's not. So let's get out of here, go to here. Let's look at our directory here. We are starting off in jars. There's no natives. All right, this might be a problem. Let's go ahead, edit these configurations. We are starting in jars. There's library path. Let's put libraries, if I can spell it correctly. Copy that. Okay. Let's paste that there. Okay. Let's look at our structure here. We have jars, libraries, and these are all see any readme. I am very important. Warning. Everything in this folder that does not belong here will be deleted. This folder will be kept in sync with the launcher at every run. All right. Don't touch that. All right, I am back. Adding these libraries by folder was not working, it appears, so we will expand every single folder until we get down to jars for under the jars libraries folder. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, but until I figure out a better thing, this is what we're going to do. So this probably means we have to redo this libs for every version that may or may not include new versions of these libraries. So just go down and command select each one of the jars. Don't grab the sources jars, just each one of these under here. There's a lot of them. I'm not quite sure if we need the natives jar or not. I'll just put it in there anyways for OS X because I'm on a Mac. If you're on Windows or Linux, choose one of those. JUtils here, not sources, and get all of again, natives on OSX. Alright, and I did find our natives directory, so we will alter our run scripts to include that directory too. Do that. And this one should be imported automatically by MCP jars libraries because it's right under that root. So I will say OK with all of those. It shouldn't hurt to leave these folders in there. I guess Argo does have some sources in its jar. It probably wouldn't have hurt to select the sources jar as well, but whatever. Okay, now that we have that library, let's hit apply. Let's go back to our modules. We have source Minecraft as our only source folder. I am going to go ahead and exclude these guys again, so otherwise we'll get that duplicate start class. Alright, apply that. Hit OK. Now back to our edit configurations. So we are starting in the jars directory, so we want the dot. Let's remember where this is. So our working path is MCP jars. We want versions 161, 161-natives. So I'm actually going to pin this up so it can stay for a while. So / versions 161. Not. What are you doing? 1.6.1 / natives. Alright, let's go ahead and copy that and go over to the other run configuration and paste that there. Alright. Oh, I think I just killed it. Let's edit those things again. Yes, I did kill it. Alright. Everything should be good. Let's run the vanilla MCP and cross our fingers that there are no more errors. It has all the correct libraries. The natives are in the correct place. And here we go for compiling. And of course we get an exception in main. I think that's about going to do it for us right now. I'll try and figure out some of these problems and post a follow-up, or I'll come right back if I can figure it out quickly, but maybe this version of Forge just is not worth updating to. I'll see you in a little bit. Hello, I'm back. After much searching and putzing around, I have finally found and discovered everything that we need to do to make this correct. So where we left off, it was so long ago I can't really remember. I'll just say what I've done. First, I added this jars versions 161, 161.jar to the classes in the MCP libs directory. Secondly, using the help of the Eclipse project, I looked at the client launch here and saw that we don't start with the start class, and we have to pass these values into our launch configuration. So what I did was main class, include non-project classes because it's in one of the libraries. The name of it is launch, and it is this net Minecraft launch wrapper launch. So that's the one that you want. Set that. Copy these from the MCP directory eclipse project.metadata.org eclipse debug core.launches, and it's in the client launch. So just put those in the program arguments there. I went ahead and added my username as another argument to it. This is the new way that it wants to launch. If you were to run the start client.bat or .shell, it would have failed because it still is trying to start it through the start class. So there's that. Another thing that you need to do is under compiler, add this star.lzma to the end of your resource patterns. They went to an LZMA format for some of their things, and that is necessary. So I believe that is all the changes that I made. Let's go ahead and look at the... Oh, I did make one other change, and that's to the output path of this module. It will now output to Forge MCP bin. So that's where the MCP recompile scripts go to. I just figured I'd set this to the same output path just to be consistent. Went ahead and on Forge did compile module MCP, and it does the compile. It'll take a little bit for that. But once you get all these changes in, once it's recompiled and everything, I went ahead and changed that jar discoverer hack to, ignore the classes.jar. So once all that's in, you should be able to run it. It looks like it runs just fine. 3 mods loaded, 3 mods active. Let's look at these. We have the MCP, FML, and Forge. And we are done. If you have any problems, please leave a comment. I may have forgotten something that I've done in the last, what has it been, half hour since I've been looking at this, an hour, I don't even know, hour and a half, whatever. I will see you in the next episode where we will finally get to some sorts of modding. We're going to look at the bare minimum in Scala, look at packaging. We're going to do a slightly more do nothing mod, and that'll be the next episode. So until then, take it easy and have a great life.